Hello, everybody. I'm pretty sure I'm live. I'm just gonna see if we can get our comments up here. I was having some trouble with my comments the other day, but it looks like they are there. So if you're here, if you're watching, give me a shout, leave me a little comment. Today we are going to be working with the Elegantly Said stamp set and punch bundle, which is a fantastic bundle. Hi, Rhonda. Um, Now, these cards were designed as part of the workshop planner that I do through my Crafty Collaborations group. So they were actually designed by one of my friends there. I believe it was Catherine Brown. So, Catherine, if you're watching, thank you so much for making my life easier. And we're going to be making 4 cards today. So I'm super excited. Hey, Pam, how's it going? All right, so I'm going to switch cameras here and we will take a look at some of my things. So this is my mail and make. So you will get the supplies for all 4 of these cards for free when you place an order with me this month. There is the host code. It's also always up at the top of my website at craftymedic.ca or thecraftymedic.com. And these are just some of the pieces here that I've gotten ready. I'm going to be having to do a little bit of cutting and stuff because I wasn't as prepared as I'd hoped to be. But the first card we're going to do is going to be a relatively straightforward, simple one. We're going to use a smoky slate card base. And this is just a piece of 4 by 5¼ inch in basic white. We're going to use this strip here, which I believe is 1½ by 4. And I need some black cardstock here too. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut myself some 4-inch strips. And this is a way that I really like to create some layers, is just by making these little strips, and then I can easily glue those onto the back of my layer and make it look like there's a whole piece there, but really I'm just using some little scrappy strips. So what we'll do is we're going to take those strips and I'm going to glue them onto the back of my designer series paper. So I'm just going to put a strip of glue on there, and then we're going to put that on there, just leaving that little bit of an edge showing. And then we'll do the same to the other side. And you'll see it looks like there's a whole layer behind the designer series paper without actually having to measure and figure out exactly how wide it needs to be. See how that's got that nice little border on both sides? And now we're just going to glue that onto our basic white piece. And this is just going to be this strip kind of down, not quite the middle, a little bit above the middle. And now we're going to do some stamping. So for this card, I'm going to use this long kind of lacy edge piece. I'm going to use the flower that's the same as the background there. And let's do thank you as our sentiment. So let's get these all mounted up. I'm going to be stamping in basic black and smoky slate for this. And I want to show you what I'm going to do with this edge piece here first. And I'm going to do that in my Memento black ink here. So I've got this edge of my stamp here, this line, and I'm going to line that up with my designer series paper. And that way it's nice and close to my cardstock layer, and it stays straight. And then I'm going to do the same thing along the bottom. So I'm lining up the edge of my stamp with my designer series paper. And I'm getting ink all over my desk in the process, but that's okay. I need to clean and replace my underlay here anyways. Okay, oh, we're going to do one more bit of stamping. We're going to do our sentiment in black as well. Get that down on the bottom, kind of straight-ish. And then I'm going to do my flowers in Smoky Slate. And I'm going to stamp them just kind of near my sentiment there. And that is actually it for the stamping on this card. Now I'm just going to decorate it with pearls, maybe a bow with some silver trim. I'm going to show you my finished card. And I'm gluing this before I'm even folding my card base, just to completely throw you off my usual workflow. Hi, Heather. Nice to see you on here. Need to find a bone folder. Gonna give this a nice burnish, make sure that that's all nice and sharp. So again, I could throw some pearls on there or some of this awesome silver trim, or like I did with my other card here, I'm gonna show you, you could do both. So on this one here, I've got some pearls on there and I've got that bow on there, and you can see how that card came together. So that is our first card. Again, super simple, but beautiful with that metallic designer series paper. All right, next card. I don't even know which one I should do next. Maybe I'll do the one that I'm not 100% sure on the measurements. So I need another Smoky Slate card base. I am going to burnish this before I start gluing things onto it and forget. And then I'm going to be stamping this lacy piece here. So I'll pull that out. I'm going to get another clear block out. So this one, again, I'm going to stamp it in Smoky Slate because I just want that nice tone on tone. And I'm going to do this kind of just in opposite corners. So I'm going to do it once down here, and then I'm going to do it again in the top corner. And if it's not perfectly lined up, that's okay, because it's not a perfectly straight image. It's all kind of curvy and bendy. Now I need to cut a chunk of basic gray, and this one is going to be 1.5 by 3 inches. So let's cut 3 inches by 1.5 inches. And then the other piece I need is 3 by 3 inches, and it's this piece of designer series paper here. So we've got 1 piece, 2 piece, and then I need a strip of crushed curry, which I didn't prepare ahead of time. So let's go through the scrap bin and hope that I have a piece of crushed curry I can use. And that one's not long enough. That's not crushed curry. Could use bumblebee for this as well. Bumblebee and crushed curry are very, very similar colors. But all I'm finding for yellows is Daffodil Delight, and is that close enough? Yes, okay. So I've got a strip here, and I'm gonna cut this down to 3 3/4 by 3/4 inches. So this is gonna be my 3 3/4 by 3/4. There we go. And this one I want to flag the ends a little bit. Now you guys know me, I am a sucker for my Pick a Banner punch. So I'm just going to slide this in here and I'm going to punch it because that is the easiest way to flag the end of a piece of cardstock, in my opinion. That we're going to lay over there eventually. And I needed one more piece of crushed curry. So let's go back to the scrap bin here and see if I can find one. Come on, crushed curry. This would have been very smart for me to prepare ahead of time. this is, no, and that's not the right color. Oh boy. Apparently, I only use full sheets of crushed curry at a time because I have very, very few crushed curry scraps. Oh, that's the piece I just threw back. That's Daffodil Delight. Okay. I may have to cut into a full sheet for this. That's okay. Let me grab a new sheet. And now I can check to see if this is the right color too. Okay, so what I actually want to do with this is I'm going to punch out a piece just like that. And this punch is so cool. It's like a little label tag thing. You can actually use those little swirls to hook onto things. But for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this. I just have to clean off the smoky slate first. And we're going to stamp this in crushed curry onto the crushed curry. We're doing lots of tone-on-tone stamping for this one. And I'm just going to stamp that smack onto that label. And then we're going to take our, let's do it in basic gray. Why not? We'll keep this in the grays. We're going to do that thank you sentiment again. And we'll pop it down there. And then we're going to pop that onto here as well. So you can see kind of the basic layout there. Let me just do some of my gluing and popping here. And then I'll pop on some little embellishments. This again, super easy card, no die cutting, no embossing, but it's so fancy with all those different layers, and you've got different textures, and that designer series paper with the metallics in this designer series paper are just gorgeous. I love it. I've gone through a pack already and have more coming so that I can actually send some to you guys, because when you get your mail and make package, you'll actually have all of these pieces so that you can make these cards, right? All right, so we'll pop that down there, and then we're going to put some pearls on here. I like to use my piercing tool. Let's pop those pearls over on this side. Come on, get on my poker. There we go. And I do want to do a little bit of a bow as well. So I'm going to take that silver trim, do my little bunny ears, fold them over. And then my pro tip with bows like this is when you have a freestanding bow, you're going to take your roll of glue dots, pop your bow onto your glue dot, and then you can just use your snips to pick up that bow and pop it on. So you're not having to futz around with putting a dot onto your project and then attaching the bow to it. I'm going to show you my first copy that's a little bit different, but same idea. So I just put the paper going in the other direction. In this one, I put my pearls over here, and my sentiments in a little bit of a different spot, but same idea. So that is our second card. We're roaring through these. Okay, third card. This one is going to be on a crushed curry card base. So again, burnishing that fold. And oh, I need to clean my lace again because we're going to stamp our lace now in crushed curry. So we're going to do the same thing with that tone-on-tone stamping. We're going to have the tone-on-tone on our background. And for this one, I'm going to actually stamp it so that the lace isn't completely on my background. So I want it kind of peeking off the edge a little bit. And that's just going to anchor it a little bit differently. And I want to leave this empty space here because what we're going to do is we're actually going to glue a strip of designer series paper on there. And the designer series paper that I have is this pattern here. So it has gold, silver, and copper foil on it. Super shiny. That is going to go right on the edge here. Line it up to your edge and to your corners. And then we're going to do a strip, and this strip is a 1/2 inch, and I want it to be 5.5 inches long because I want it to be the full length of my card base. So let's just double check that I've got the length right. Yep. And then here's another little adhesive trick. I'm going to put a strip of tear and tape on here, and I'm going to actually let it overhang the edges because I'm actually going to wrap it around the back. And what this is going to do is it's going to give me a perfect, straight, nicely organized line to attach my ribbon to. And how I'm going to attach my ribbon is I'm going to peel off one edge so that it's just unfolded there. And I'm going to take, this is the gold shimmer ribbon. I'm going to attach that on the back here. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it, but I'm going to fold it off to the side like this. And then I can put my ribbon straight down the center of the cardstock. And as I pull this, I can smooth this down so that it's nice and straight, maybe, on my cardstock. I'm going to pull that all the way down to the end. If it gets a little bit off kilter, I can just straighten it out like that. There we go. I'm going to fold it over the back side, just like that, and then trim this off. Now to adhere this to my card, I could use glue, but since I've got my tear and tape out, I'm just going to attach a strip of tear and tape to the back, and that's going to help anchor the ribbon and the cardstock to my card base. Now the sentiment for this one, I'm not even going to show you the stamping. It's super simple. It's just cinnamon cider stamped onto a scrap of Whisper White that kind of goes with whatever your sentiment is. But I'll show you the finished card. And I did add a little swirl of the gold trim to that. So there's some of that gold trim. Hi, Kisha. No worries. No worries. This is the third card that we're making here. These are super simple, super straightforward. Like I said, this is just a scrap of Whisper White, and it's popped up on there with dimensionals with that little swirl of the gold trim behind. So that is our third card. All right, last but certainly not least, we're going to be making a card with a cinnamon cider base. So there is that. I'm going to do that trick again with the tear and tape and the ribbon, and I'm going to do it onto this piece of designer series paper now. So this is the one that has kind of that gold lace. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing I just did, just this time along one edge of my designer series paper. And all that is is just to fold over the edges and then peel this off. Now, if you've got a super thin ribbon, this won't work, but anything that is kind of this, how wide is this one? I want to say it's like 3/8 of an inch. It's a 1/4 inch. So anything that's like a 1/4 inch or wider, this will work with. And then I just want to make sure that I'm not letting the edge of that designer series paper peek out. Fold it over. There we go. All right, now I actually forgot to do my stamping on here. So I've got my cinnamon cider, and the first time I did this, I kind of messed it up. So I'm not going to forget this time. I actually want to stamp off my background image. Isn't it great, Aoife? I love it. I hope I'm saying your name right, by the way. That's how I've always said it in my head, so hopefully I'm right. If I'm wrong, please correct me. All right, cinnamon cider, I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp some flowers all over the top of my card base. There we go. Hi, Sandy. All right. So now we're going to glue this on, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite little punch hack tricks. Excellent. I like it when I'm right. I always tell people it's not that I'm always right, I'm just rarely wrong. So that time I just added that on there with glue. So now what we're going to do, and again, this is going to be for our sentiment, which I need to grab. Come on. All right, I've got my sentiment here, and then I need a scrap of white here somewhere. You'd think that I have some scraps of Whisper White around, or Basic White rather. Ha, I do. Surprisingly, not as much as I think though. All right, so I've got my Basic White here, and I'm gonna stamp, falling off my chair, my cinnamon cider sentiment on here. I'm so excited to show you guys this. I know it's going to be old hat for some of you, but it still makes me happy every time I do it. So, all right, so now we've got this gold piece that's the same as the white piece, but I want to create a little bit of a layer underneath. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this in half. And now when I go to glue this, I'm going to glue just the top here. And I'm going to do like I layered with those black strips on the first card. And I'm going to just give it a little bit of a border. Pop that one down. And then the same thing for this bottom piece. I'm going to add some glue. And then just offset them ever so slightly so that it looks like there is a slightly larger punch behind my stamped layer. Now you can with this punch, if you cut your pieces the right width, you can slide them in there and like get them wider or get them longer rather, but I'm not that coordinated and I didn't want to have to get the measurement exactly right so that my spacing was right. So this is kind of the cheater way to get that label size right without having to do all kinds of fancy measurements and math because I didn't feel like doing math today. All right, some dimensionals on here. We'll pop that up and pop that on there. And then again, a little bow, some pearls, and I'll show you the finished version right there. So you can see this one I didn't stamp off the background, whereas this one I did. So this one's just a little bit lighter, but that one has the pearls on there and the bow, and it's so pretty. All right, I'm going to show you these cards again. If you're on my team and you're not sure if you're getting this month or not, just let me know. If you want to place an order, there's our host code. And if you're not any of those things, don't forget that today is the last day of the joining promotion. So you can actually join my team and you'll get this as well. And you will also get $206 worth of product and you'll only pay $135 for it. So that is a pretty awesome deal. If your wish list is $110 or more, it works out to the same amount of money you're paying, but you get like twice as much stuff, which is pretty awesome. So there's the 4 cards that you'll be making. I will post the instructions. This one doesn't have instructions for it. These 3 do have all the measurements and instructions, but this one you can probably figure it out. It's fairly straightforward. And then this video will be available as well. And like I said, if you place an order with me this month, if you're on my team, you join my team, and you meet those certain milestones or achievements, you'll get all the stuff to make these 4 cards sent to you. Happy stamping. Have a great week, and I will see you next time. Next time we will be doing, I can't remember the date on it, but I'll be doing another Wildcard Wednesday where I'll be rolling the dice or pulling craft sticks or something like that. I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet, but it's going to be a wild card, so you get to watch me make something live. All right, have fun. Bye.